Welcome to Atlanta Tarot. This is the tarot forecast for Scorpio for the month of June. Welcome, Scorpio. Let's see what messages are coming through for you in June. We're in a Gemini season, so very unpredictable. So hang on to your hat, as they say. I always equate Gemini with the wind. High winds, no wind, all that sort of thing. Anything can happen in Gemini. Energy around your situation is the Ten of Swords, so the end of a difficult time. It's probably been hanging around for a while, but now with this you get the nice feeling of, oh well, it's over, it's in its last, you know, the last of it is there. So let's see what's happening in your foot. Especially with Gemini around too, it's very interesting to see what you're going to make of June, Scorpio. This is where you are right now, Queen of Swords, so really, you know, very mental clarity at its best with Queen of Swords. She brings down the swords, she cuts out unneeded or unwanted stuff in her life, people or situations. She just gets to the crux of it. She can be very tough. She can be very sort of ruthless in a way as well. She's known as the Widow Queen. So she sort of really had a fair share of stuff, but yeah, she's a bit of a slash and burn. If it's not working, she will use that sword to get rid of it. Let's see what's brought her in. Four of Cups, so there you go, disappointment, flatline energy with Four of Cups. It's like when a situation just reaches that point of, well, what's going to happen next? Are we going to go forward with this? Are we going to get rid of it? Is it working? Is it not working? Because there's a period of sort of just, it's like a holding pattern. If it's a love issue or a relationship issue, there might be a bit of sort of nothingness around it. Nothing seems to be really moving anywhere and making a decision whether to keep it or not. But, you know, that's just the cycle of life too. Things aren't always on the up and up. Sometimes they have to sit for a while with just nothing happening. And it leaves you feeling a bit dissatisfied. But that's okay. You know what to do with it. With the Queen of Swords, you just make some action. Let's see the background, Scorpio. And there he is again, the Knight of Swords, so the Gemini card, and that's been, you know, a bit of a battle, very unexpected May, I guess, lots of things coming in, lots of stuff happening. He's a messenger, so he brings the unexpected news out of nowhere. Sort of things that haven't been really expected come in. Sort of he shakes things up too, the Knight of Swords. He is Gemini, actually. So you've had prior warning already that things, you know, things have sort of been a bit bumpy in May perhaps, but you've got through that and now you're just getting rid of what you don't want and just sort of seeing what you'd like to do next, Scorpio. Recent influences, Two of Swords, so you might be at a bit of a stalemate with a situation or a person. Will I get rid of them or not? You know, are they serving me or not? Where's this going? And you feel a bit stuck in your head about it, unable to make that decision. Well, you have to. We'll see why with the lesson in a moment, but it's just about being a bit blindfolded and not being quite sure. But Scorpio, remember, you're very well known for using your intuition, so what happened to that? You need to use that as well and to get past this Two of Swords. If you feel like things aren't right, well, you're probably right being a Scorpio. Okay? So face whatever the decision is and make it. It's not a big major decision. It's a small one, but it's sort of, yeah, it's just difficult. And I guess too in June it's a bit difficult to do it because you don't know which way the wind's going to blow and the intensity of it. Let's see what the lesson you're learning, and that'll probably give us a bit of a hint what this stalemate is with the Two of Swords. The Five of Swords. So very much a group of people around you wanting a decision. Or it can be you just sort of feeling quite upset about what others are saying or their belief system. There's a group of them though, 5 of them. Can be family as well. In a really interesting situation where they think one thing, you think another, and how do you break through that? How do you sort of, then you use the Queen of Swords to go, okay, well, I'm just going to deal with this for once and for all. They're entitled to have their opinions, and they do as a collective, but it doesn't mean to say that it sits well with you. So it's about really examining what you need to do to break the stalemate. Do you move on? Use that Queen of Swords for clarity of thought. Is it really, really important, or let's see. It's about you making the decision, Scorpio. It's been a bit of a rough time. However, let's move on to near future. The end of the cycle. So the cycle is coming to an end. So this is very good news. So whatever you're going to do about it brings that finish to it. It brings that family curse to an end as well. So I'm thinking it is quite family sort of oriented, which can be very dicey. Can be really hard to deal with family problems like that, and family curse. Sort of, we need to get rid of it though, but we can see that coming through in perhaps the 2nd, 3rd week, maybe even before then. It depends how quickly you process things, and you should be able to do it this month because there's lots of communication there. It's about saying what you feel too, just to put an end to it, put it to bed, put it wherever it belongs and move on. What's happening that you're not realising? The King of Swords. So he's the legal eagle, he's the expert, he's the person that we often go to for advice, but then again, you know, heed that as well, Scorpio, being feeling people. He can sort of be very good at manipulating facts and figures and things like that, where you think, oh, I don't, you know, this doesn't feel right, there's something about this situation, but it does involve this figure, very male, smart, intellectually smart person, usually legal issues. He finds himself at home in legality, lawyers, solicitors, all those sorts of people. They're very clever at sort of getting things sorted out. But I think for you, because he's in the position of down here, what you're not realising, that's the key to the solution. And that's just how it is. How others see you? Yes, quite anxious. Try not to be anxious. Try not to lose sleep. Just try to move on with it. June's going to be a bit rough, I think, in terms of, you know, but just try and keep, you know, using your intuition rather than letting your head run around with scenarios that could or couldn't be. You know, ultimately you just want this thing finished and put to bed. You don't, it's causing you grief that you really don't need. You just need to make a decision to end it and to move on. But we never forget, but we will forgive, because there's no more energy to be given to this particular thing, Scorpio. Move out of your head. Positive feelings for the month of June. And we have the Six of Cups. So it's all about reunions, family, childhood times, harking back to, you know, old connections, all that sort of thing. Very much in tune with this whole family story of family curse. And it's about, you know, that's there forever. It's part of your makeup. And it's about, you know, getting together with those people again and just perhaps moving on from what has been a difficult time, because that's all you can do at the moment. But knowing you, Scorpio, there's some suspicion there, but really at the end of the day, that belongs to other people, not to you. So nice time for gatherings, getting together and just that reunions basically. But also very old past life sort of connections, things from the past. Final outcome for June. And you get the Ace of Swords, so things definitely move on. You get clarity by the end of June, which is wonderful. It's very much dominated by swords. Scorpio, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. So really out of your comfort zone there, too much thinking, too much head. Yeah, just really know that by the end of June, clarity will be restored. Okay, and the end will be, and that's how it is. Let's just put an explanatory card. I really don't know. I think let's just put it on the world, because that's the end of a cycle. So let's just see. So under the surface of this end of a cycle with the world, we have the King of Cups. So another male figure in there. So this person obviously is very much related to this scenario. And perhaps this person, very emotional type of water person as well, comes in, and that's where you've got to leave your focus and just say, well, let's just leave it with that then. Leave it, leave it. You've been introspective. You've done what you can do. But he's very important in it. He's sort of the source of it. Okay. One last card. Just to tie it all in, Scorpio, for the month of June. Detachment, brilliant card. Manifest plainness, embrace simplicity, reduce selfishness, and have fewer desires. And this will help you get through the month of June with this whole sort of air issue, mind issue, family issue. Just try detachment. Okay, Scorpio, I wish you a really pleasant June. Move on through the stuff. Thank you very much for listening.